Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Doodle Robot, and today I'm going to cover with you my January coloring book and coloring supply purchases, and a few other things. This might be my favorite coloring supply book and haul ever. Lots of good things. Now we're starting on the top with something awesome that came. Maybe you've seen the video about this one. I'm so excited about this, but I'm going to end the video, believe it or not, with something even better. So excited. There's lots of good stuff in this video. Okay, so the only supply I bought in January was this one. I'll zoom you down a smidge. My Hemi Gouache Paints, basically. And I'm sure most of you have seen this. It comes with, inside the container, I did a whole unboxing. I have a whole experiment video about it, 2 whole videos. It comes with a palette. The palette gets stained by the paint, which is pretty standard for palettes that I've seen. It comes with 3 brushes. I've already used one and stained it, so that's pretty standard for synthetic brushes as well. It was very nice, though. It worked very well. And then I'll give you a glimpse of the paint in case you want to see it. Haven't been living on Mars, whatever the case may be. They seal pretty good. All right. So like I said, I've already shot 2 videos about it. The cover's still clean. That's good. I have to spritz them a lot. I live in the desert. So I've kind of ordered them this way for myself. I've got color wheel order. They didn't really come in this order. And then I've got my natural white and black and natural tones. I think I may even do one more video about this set of gouache paints, mixing paints, maybe color theory, a bit of color theory, maybe. We'll see. So let me get that all smushed closed again and out of the way. All right, so awesome purchase. If you haven't seen them and you're curious, you can watch my other 2 videos about that. I'm going to move this out of the way. Now, like I said, that was the only supply that I bought in January, although just this week I got a couple of things. I had to get, in my video I talked about tips for your Hemi gouache, stirring them with toothpicks. So I had to get more toothpicks because my 25-year-old pack of toothpicks is finally used up. The ones that are left, I don't know if you can see, I painted them green. I must have dipped my messy fingers in there, but more toothpicks are needed for my awesome thing. So I bought toothpicks. I went down the back. I should never go down this aisle at Walmart, but I got some metallic paint. This one is antique copper. It's beautiful. Let me show you the color. While I have this out, I can show you the Hemi Jelly Gouache paints there. Beautiful. To Joseph Hannah, these are great. They pretty much look like they look like in the container. You don't even have to swatch them, so you're good. You don't have to do it, Jojo. Let's see here. Where are my paints? So this is the antique copper right there. I really need to redo this swatch thing, but you know, later, someday later. But yeah, I had kind of a greeny gold and a kind of an orangey yellowy gold, and I'm like, oh, that would complement nicely. So I got it. It's very luxurious. Although the best one probably is still the black flash. I don't know if it's going to flash behind the plastic there, but they're all good. Okay. So, on to, and just picked up from the dollar store because I've been doing a lot of painting lately because mostly my whole arm and shoulder are hurting. We have some issues with painting. I've got my last dollar store cup here. These are what they had. They don't have these anymore. But I'm storing some paint in this one, and these just kind of get used and thrown away. It used to be you got like 10 for $1, And now they don't have these anymore. They had kind of a squarish one with like this big, huge gray top on it. And it was 4 for $1.25. And it looked a lot more, less disposable, I should say. Desperation hit it last night. I actually had to mix some paint, some orange color here, in an applesauce thing and put tinfoil on it. But I'm out. So at the dollar store just today, I bought some, I guess these are like to-go cups. I hope they work good. I have no idea, but this is what the dollar store sells us now. So we got that. So those are actually some February supplies. Now I want to show you something I'm pretty sure I got in January, and I think you guys will like this. I don't have any place else, sorry, detour from coloring stuff. I don't have any place else to show off my Star Wars stuff, but I got a 3-pack, and I'll put the link in the description in case you're interested. I know a lot of you have that, like, Grogu coloring book, the copyright infringed one. That one, yes. Precious Cargo. I got a 3-pack. It was like, when I bought it, it was like $15. And if I can find it, if they still have it, I'll put the link for you. But yeah, my Star Wars bag from a decade ago finally broke. You know, one of the handles broke off. I only had one, but I had to replace it with another Star Wars bag, you know, because I'm a creature of habit. So I got the cool Grogu 3-pack of shopping bags. Okay. We're off from the side note. Let's go on to our coloring books. All right, so we got, you know how it goes. I was ordering some stuff for the house, actually, from Amazon, not coloring stuff, and I needed like $2 more. So this book, Wondrous Wizards by Marty Noble, which has been on my list of things to buy forever, it finally got plunked in the cart because it was like $3.99. And it's been $3.99 forever. You'd think with inflation they'd go up, but it hasn't gone up. So, yeah, we've all seen Coloring with Elena's wonderful renditions of this, and I wanted this book for a long time. So, I don't actually have Prime. I live in the middle of nowhere, and Prime means nothing here. You're not getting anything in 2 days here. It's a week and a half to 2 weeks when I order from Amazon. So, and if I had Prime, it always tells me that if I had Prime, I would get it 1 day earlier. So it makes no sense for me to get Amazon Prime. All right. And then I saw on somebody's channel, I don't know who it was, and I think it was new. I don't think it was an old channel. They said they got their Coloring Heaven. Do I have that right? Creative Haven. Coloring Heaven. Yes, Coloring Heaven, the one that comes from wherever it comes from. I don't know, England maybe, or the UK. They had a strawberry shortcake edition, I think, which made me remember that there was a Bendon book of strawberry shortcake that I really, really liked and wanted many, many moons ago. It just jogged my memory, so I went searching for it and found it. I actually like the drawings in here better than the Coloring Heaven one, personally. It's just personal. It's not an attack on anybody, just personal preference. So I went down. Unfortunately, this led me down the Bendon rabbit hole. You know, YouTube and Amazon, they have rabbit holes that just, you know, that just happen. They're like cyclones. They just suck you in. Is it a cyclone? What's that thing in the water? It spins and it sucks you in. I don't know what it's called. But this is super cute. I really like this one. There's a few wallpaper pages here and there. And I was not a fan of strawberry shortcake when I was a kid. Was that the 80s? I believe my sister was. I might have just missed it or something. I might have just been too old, but I do like this one. All right, so more on the Bendon rabbit hole here. I saw Villains, Bendon, Disney Villains. And so this one looks a lot like, it's a cross between, I would say, that comic book cover art and like 50s, 60s print advertisements. And a lot of these are not very hard at all. This is an easy win book here on a lot of these pages. So there was no flip through. I just had to take a risk and get it. But I was able to see a couple and I'm like, ooh, that's pretty good. A few wallpaper ones. But yeah, I rather like that style. If you want a flip through of this, let me know. And I'm going to have to do some research because I don't know who most of these people are. I saw the things like Snow White and Bambi, and then after that I didn't see anything. So, and then more on the Bend and Rabbit Hole. And actually I wanted this Coloring the 50s book, which is really good, but the only way I could find it was in a 4-pack of Coloring the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s. And then, of course, after I ordered it, I found it all by itself. But I wasn't going to undo the order. So I thought I'd take a risk and see what they were. But I knew I liked the 50s one. I was able to find a flip through of this one, and it's cool. It's very, mid-century modern. It's really, really good. There's flip through of this somewhere online. Some are wallpaper pages. Some are almost those advertisements again, as I was talking about. Maybe that's the bend and style. I don't know. They want to do advertisements. Some of these pages would be really good. I don't do it. For those people who journal and do, what do they do? Collaging or journaling, whatever it is they do. I don't know what it's called. I would like a lot of these pages just for that. So that's the 50s. We'll look at the 60s. I actually have a dollar store book with really like tissue paper thin paper that has some of these images in it from the 60s. And I'm surprised because I was thinking that, I'm going to like the 50s and 60s one best. And the 60s one is okay. Like, they didn't finish this one. It's okay. I'll finish it, but I'll draw something on there. But, where's the rest of the picture? Yeah, so some of these I actually have in another book, dollar store book, which I guess I can now go send to the Goodwill or something. Surprisingly, I like best the 50s and the 80s one. And I thought, this is the 70s, I thought I would probably like best the 50s and 60s. And I don't know where if Bendon employs artists or they just use Shutterstock. I don't really know. I know it's not AI art because that's just deplorable. At least with Shutterstock, artists created it and posted it there. At least that's my impression of Shutterstock. I could be wrong. If I am, let me know in the comments. There's a lot of shoes in this one, and I do like 70s shoes. They remind me of Kiss, the band Kiss, and a lot of lava lamps. I like lava lamps. Wasn't this in the other one? This might have been in the 60s one. If you want flip throughs of any of these, let me know. Some of them are not online. And surprisingly, I like the 80s one, although this one seems very faded. I didn't know pineapples were a thing in the 80s. I don't remember that. I missed that one. I'm pretty sure I had many of these outfits. I'm a victim of the 80s. And we used to go to the arcade and play Pac-Man and Asteroids or something. I can't remember. Mostly I went to the arcade, not for the games. I went for the nachos. Remember when it cost $0.25 a game? I wonder what it costs these days in an arcade. It's probably like $1 a game now. So the 80s one is pretty good. And I got, this is Carrie Kay's fault. I saw her doing, she inspired me to do a black and white book somehow and something she did. And then I inspired her to do a black and white book. And then she went crazy in a mosaic book, which reminded me that I wanted some more of these art therapy books. And I found this one. And this is brand spanking new, man. You could even still smell like it's got that new ink smell to it. But I found it for $9 new. I look every once in a while, and I only buy them if they're like, new or like new or really good, and they're cheap because I'm not going to spend a lot of money on them. But this is Art Therapy Mandalas 100 Designs, and it's a really good one. I've been looking at it for a long time. It's got a lot of wallpaper pages, but it also has a lot of really cool, very culture-driven mosaics. And a lot of like Asian and Middle Eastern cultures. Will we be able to find any? I think somebody has a flip through of this online, possibly. I know I saw it somewhere. That's how I know. So we've got, what is this, like Thailand maybe influence there? Merman. Wow. And actually in February, I ordered another one of these books, the Celtic one. It's not going to come for a long time. All right, so there's some better ones. Maybe I missed them. They're in here somewhere. There we go. There was some. I just wish somebody should make a book with those things. I would like that. Oh, there we go. The elephant. Ganesh? Is it Ganesh? I can't remember. All right. And Wendy. This is Wendy's fault. Alice's Little Wonderlands. This is by Francesca Rossi. I remember she showed it a long time ago. And I put it in, I wanted it, and I put it in my cart, and then, I don't know, it sold out or whatever. I was trying to be good and not buy a bunch of stuff. You know how it is. Occasionally I get that way. And then I'm like, I let it go. I didn't worry about it. It's like, I don't need it. I have a gazillion books. And then she showed it again, Wendy. But this is really good. It's better in person than it was in wherever I saw the flip through of it. And there's quite a few pages that, have a lot of unused space, which, I'm going to alter that page somehow. And I'm not a big Alice in Wonderland person. I don't really care about it at all, but love this page. But now I have 2 Alice in Wonderland books for some strange reason. I don't know the story, so I'll probably color everything all wrong. But I did see the movie when I was a little kid, but I can't remember it. I think it's a Disney movie. It's probably a Disney movie. So yeah, I found this one new for $9. So glad I waited, because I don't think when I originally had it in my cart it was that price at all. And the last book I have, and remember, I'm saving the best thing for last. Just because I can. It's not a coloring book either. Mythographic Cosmic Spirit. I saw this in Walmart, and I leafed through it several times because usually I'm not into the mythographics. It's hard to figure out what's going on, and I have bad memories of found hidden objects in them, but I really like this one, and it's my first what is it? Tarot, Astrology, and Mystical Symbols. It's my first book like that. I have my eye on another tarot book, though. But yeah, I saw this at Walmart, and I'm like, I don't remember seeing any flip-throughs for this. Not that I usually look at the flip-throughs of mythographics, because like I said, they're really hard to see. Unless you're looking on a big, huge monitor, I usually look on my phone. And before I buy something, I look at it on the huge monitor, but I raced home and did a flip-through of it and posted it. Because I'm like, wow, I might be the first person, because that's never going to happen in the middle of nowhere. Okay, so, well, this sad thing happened. I don't know, November, December, that happened. This is like old school palette here. This is from my high school days, and it looks, poor thing, it looks like it's from my high school days. But I have finally ruined my last plastic palette, and so, I was debating. Obviously, I went and got more cups from the dollar store as part of my solution, but those are for storing large things of paint that I will come back to. These were just for mixing various paints. And I'm really good at ruining palettes because I don't like to wash the paint. I want to save it in case I mess up, but I have to touch something up. So this happened, and then I got my Hemi gouaches, which sent me on to a new plane of things, a whole new YouTube rabbit hole to go down. And I saw that somebody had a ceramic palette on their channel because their Hemi thing, I'm assuming, had gotten super stained. I looked at how stained it was. I'm like, wow, she uses that thing a lot. Good for her. But then one day she came with a ceramic palette, and I'm like, huh. I looked into getting one. I realized the irony of that, people. I realized the irony, but wait for the story. So I looked into getting them, and I'm like, the handmade ones run from, I would say, $50 for a tiny, tiny one to over $100. And I know why that is. I mean, it takes a long time to make them if you're hand making them. If you make them in the machine, you'll see them for $16, $17, and they look very, they look like the plates we buy that are ceramic. They're sleek. There's no mistakes. There's no human touch to it. It's a machine done thing. Those are cheap. If you want that, that's great. But I'm an artist. I do ceramics. I teach ceramics for a living. So I looked at the price, and I'm like, I know why, because clay prices have gone through the roof. Glaze prices have gone through the roof. And it takes, it takes a few hours to make those things. And then you have to make it. You got to let it dry. You got to fire it. You got to glaze it, and then you got to fire it again. So, seeing the price and having a heart attack, I'm like, I have a whole ceramic studio at my beck and call. So, I made a bunch of palettes. Handmade ceramic palettes. I'm super excited about these. And unfortunately, I used a glaze from my classroom that's been discontinued, and it's such awesome glaze too. I went overboard. I probably didn't need to make 5, but now I have like a lifetime supply of ceramic palettes here. So let's see if we can get these all in screen. So I made, as my prototypes here, different sizes and shapes of ceramic palettes. These are all made by Doodle Robot. That's me, Doodle Robot. I'm thinking about maybe going into business and selling them. Although I will have to find some different glazes, because as I've said, these are discontinued glazes. So let me know if you think that would be a good idea. I tried different ways to make them. They're all, of course, made with the slab method, but some I used pinch method to make the walls. Some I used another slab. So I did all kinds of different things. Some things took less or more time. All made by Doodle robots. So I'm super excited about these. I love them. When I went this morning and the kiln was done, I started making these in January. And it is the 9th of February, so it takes a while. The process is it's not a slow process. So yeah, when I opened the kiln, I of course squealed with delight, and students came running in and the other art teacher, and they're like, oh, this came out really good. So I love both these glazes. Unfortunately, they're discontinued, but I can make a few more. So let me know if you might be interested in buying them. That would be a thing. I don't know if I want to start that endeavor or not, but I'm super pleased, super pleased. Are these better than my Hemi gouaches? They might be, because I made them. So that is it for today. I thank you for joining me. I appreciate your time. I hope you have a wonderful day. Live long and prosper. Bye-bye.